I've already dislodged one trespasser from my head. I've no interest in another.
Sorry, lad. Thought that chip on your shoulder were for all to see.
Do you ever have a thought and just decide to keep it to yourself?
More than you know, my dear mate. More than you know.
Fancy a look at the wares, my friend? Best goods on the island. Fancy a look at the wares, my best goods on the...
Need a hand?
What can I do you for? Hoo-wee! About time we took a breather. My feet are blistered something fierce. Tell me what's on your mind? Yeah, it's best we gotta move on.
Leave it to me. Oh? Aye?
Not a problem.
The ring of a bell comes to you on a cold wind. The ring comes again and again, until soon the air is full with the sound of 1,000 bells ringing all at once. You are alone. And then, you are not. An indistinct figure stands before you, flickering between forms like a fire-cast shadow. A fixed, taunting grin. Bottomless black eyes. A yawning chasm in the earth. The aspects of Berith, the Usher and the Pallid Knight, shift in and out of focus. And at their back, 4 indistinct shades hover. You feel an eternity stretch out behind each of them, reaching back to places so distant and yet so near you cannot comprehend their size. The shifting image of Berith settles on the aspect of the Pallid Knight.
Watcher.
Her voice is the discordant clangor of gongs struck out of time.
I tasked you to discover Aethys's intentions. Tell me what you have learned.
The Pallid Knight knits her brows.
He does not seek to return to the Beyond? Intriguing.
Her sickly pale skin pulls tight across the bones of her face, as if the shell of this aspect does not quite fit the impossible creature it contains. The figure nearest Berith dissolves and reforms in the image of a thin-lipped, ancient crone, whose face has felt the melting kiss of fire. The goddess Wodika strides forward.
Does Aethys frighten you, Berith? He should. Magran subdued Aethys's influence once before, and yet he returned.
From out of Wodika's shadow shuffles a hunched, bald man you recognize as the god Scan. His skin is mapped with swollen lash scars, and breath whistles through the ragged hole in his face where his nose once was. He does not speak, but stares up at Wodika, with naked loathing plain on his ruined face. Wodika steeples her long, knob-jointed fingers.
We must annihilate Aethys now, before he makes a rash decision we cannot easily annul.
She casts a sly look at the Pallid Knight from the corners of her eyes.
A moon would do the job nicely.
Wodika stares at you down her long nose.
I would destroy it all in the blink of your wide eye if I believed it would benefit me. Empires can be rebuilt. Souls can be reforged. Do not forget it.
The figure beside the aspect of Berith flows forward in a swirling cloud of ash. The ash falls to the tiles and reveals a molten-skinned woman, leaning on a monstrous, wicked-edged broadsword. Magran's glowing lips curl in disdain.
We must find a solution to the problem of Aethys that is neither do nothing, nor destroy the world. I acted in haste during the Saints' War. You will not goad me into doing the same now. To move against him while his plans are unknown would be the height of foolishness. We must find wisdom in precaution.
The Pallid Knight tilts her head to the side and gives you the long-suffering, narrow-eyed look of a parent dealing with a particularly disappointing child.
No.
Another of the silent figures steps forward, and the warm, golden light of a summer's afternoon spills across your face.
Let's all take a deep, calming breath. Perhaps cooler heads will prevail.
Behind Helia's words, you hear the soft coo of doves.
Aethys has been separated from us for too long. Isn't it possible he intends only to gather enough souls to reclaim his realm in the Beyond? He should be welcomed.
You look up then into avian eyes. Through them, you see clouds of starlings converge and divide. Helia puts a feathered hand to her chest.
He wouldn't. Betrayal is not in his nature.
Scan shuffles forward.
Yes, yes. We should welcome Aethys's return to the fold. His gratitude we can leverage to cajole him into divulging his plot. Then, when he believes himself to be in our good graces, we do as Wedeka suggests and crush him into the earth.
Scan pauses, inspecting you.
Ah, and here is the Watcher who killed Lord Horan, the man who tormented his dear niece, Alice. Curious.
Scan licks the ragged edge of his lipless mouth and grins, then turns to Helia.
I did not expect such a deliciously ruthless idea from you, Helia. I am impressed.
Helia's feathered crest stands on end.
You wretched little creature.
Your point is well made, little Watcher. If self-evident, Aethys has not been known to possess a vindictive nature. Indeed, he has occasionally been magnanimous to a fault. However, if we push him to the brink of reason, there is no telling what he may do. He is, as ever, unpredictable.
Something akin to fondness creeps into her voice. The Pallid Knight gestures for silence.
Aethys cannot be killed, but he may be subdued. Yet to do so will take immense power and time. Both stand in his favor.
Magrin grits her black glass teeth.
That is why we must ascertain his plans before he has the chance to put them into motion.
She begins to pace. Her steps leave little trails of fire in her wake. Magrin stops and balls her hands into flaming fists.
Even if we manage to destroy his current form, there is the possibility he could return, if he has not already absorbed all of his children.
The Pallid Knight casts a cold, cutting glare in Magrin's direction.
Magrin speaks too freely. That knowledge is beyond your ken, Watcher.
Wodeka waves the gods to silence.
Aethys gathers strength. His strength is a threat to us.
Her voice takes on a sharp, almost panicked edge.
There is no sensible answer to the question of a resurgent Aethys other than decisive, final action.
Your opinion is unasked for and unnecessary, but noted nonetheless.
Though her tone is impassive, the banked fury in her eyes says well enough what she thinks of your interruptions.
We will act when it is appropriate to do so, and not before.
The Pallid Knight steps away from the half-circle of assembled gods. She pulls herself up to a great height. The words she speaks next come not from her mouth, but from all around you.
Follow him, Watcher.
The black of the Pallid Knight's irises expand until her eyes are as dark and cold as the void between stars. She bends down and brings her ghostly face level with your own.
Your debt to me remains unpaid.
She stares at you, unblinking. Like a needle drawn to a magnet, you are pulled toward her one compulsory step at a time. You blink open your eyes and find yourself on the floor of your ship's cabin, alone.
Don't let anyone tell you you're too shrimpy to be a fighter. I was your age when I started training.
You're far from home, farmer. How did you make it all this way in your little boat?
Why do we gotta be farmers just because we're from Deerwood?
Are you a farmer?
Yeah, but you can't just assume. We got rabble-rousers, too.
I'm the harbor master, Kaoha. I must ask your reason for docking in Neketaka. Yeah, you do need to see someone, truly. I think it's the Animancers in the Spire you're looking for. To help with your head.
Show them. Show them what you are.
This city is full of foreigners looking for Luminous Audra. If you want it so badly, get back on your ship and head back out to sea until you have proper business here.
I will help you.
What's the matter with you? What are you doing? If you're trying to scare us with some cipher mischief, save the purple flames for the tribes of the Outer Islands.
Now.
What? What is this?
Run for it!
I think I got a ghost up my nose there. That's better.
And now Port Marge is behind us. I thought this would be a relief.
The Hazanui is at the palace, blaming the Valians for attacking one of their ports.
Well, did they?
The Queen is holding court today with the Valiant and Rowatanians.
How long before they're killing each other?
Wager on it?
You must gather your party before.
any food? Surely you've a scrap to spare. Mercy, traveler. Never have I been so hungry. You think the merchants will sell to Raparu? You think, even if they did, the Mataru would let me keep what I bought? You have not been here long, stranger. Thank you. I'll share it, I swear. Thank you, traveler. The Gullet is a lawless place, forgotten. The only authority here is the Matarus, and they don't work on our behalf. But if it is a wise man you want, seek Anoi in his home. He tries to keep us safe and fed. He does not always succeed, but he does try. Trying's worth a lot down here.
They took him. For what? Bataro's the second this month.
And they say the pittings aren't increasing. Just to us. At this rate, who'll be left to suffer the Mataru's ire?
Please! I did nothing!
Enough! Or do you wish to consign her to the old city as well?
Let him go!
Beer! I'm sorry!
Your tongue flops like a dying fish. I tire of its stink. Lower him down!
May Tangaloa devour your souls, you cold-blooded eels.
Be careful. The Gullet is no place for outsiders.
We're awake right now, aren't we?
So scary!
So you defeated this ship-devouring beast all by yourself?
I'm telling you, you just have to aim for the eyes.
Candles and bombs.
Barati pays coin to feed the great eel.
You songwriters need a guild if you hope to learn discipline.
Not so. We speak in the tongue of Ngati and Amira. Your pretty dances may upset the puddle, but we command the wind and sky.
Hey, I have missed our little talks.
Akira.
While I am flattered by the esteemed Hazanui's confidence, I must wonder how my people are meant to have destroyed an entire colony overnight.
You tell us. It's no coincidence that your outpost at Port Mage survived the recent storm.
You speak as if I could command the tides, while you are casting your blame in a wide net. Why not look to our Kahanga allies? We do not share their talent for shaping water.
I say our guest forgets himself.
Brother, stand down. You are the one who mistakes my throne room for a sparring arena. I say this is beneath us. An interesting visitor in difficult times. You cannot be here to deliver a favorable omen. This one is a watcher blessed by Tangaloa. I suspect that many of our questions about Hasongo will soon be answered.
I know this one. His parlor tricks frightened 10 years of every sailor in Queen's Birth.
We assembled to discuss the darkening of Hasongo, one of Rawatai's colonies. Watcher, it seems you have the floor.
What sailor's tale is this?
There's no sane explanation for what's been happening. You keep waiting for one, it'll be too late.
Does tilling the soils of the Eastern Reach drive all men mad? You sound as crazy as the Dawnstar Dreamers.
Have you not heard the rumors, Karu? An Adra Colossus marching across the sea. Sailor tales, but credible ones.
Ganta Nichese. I am acquainted with the Watcher of Cadnua from my assignments in Defiance Bay and Twin Elms.
Diverus? It explains the colorful nature of your reports.
I have seen things with him that are not even told in the most outlandish of sailors' tales.
And I'm supposed to take 2 Valians at their word?
How came a watcher from half the world away to be involved in these happenings? Enlighten the court. Tracking down a god who stands as tall as a mountain, a fisherman with poor eyesight could do this. My priests will trip over their feet to interpret his divine plan. Watcher, can you cut through the din and tell for what he comes to the Deadfire? How resourceful of you. The Isles are studded with enough luminous Adra to bankroll an economy. I believe our course is clear. We will send the Watcher to Hasongo, set sail to the west of Neketaka. I would tell you to keep a weather eye out for a lighthouse, but the God of Light did not appreciate competition. Something to add, Hazanui? You have an eager look about you.
Only that Hasongo is a Rawatayan outpost. It would be useful for the Watcher to take one of ours along.
Ma'am?
Maya's an expert sailor and a better sharpshooter. The best the Brass Citadel has to offer. Whatever comes your way, she'll see it first.
If it gets me and Ashiza out of diplomat duty, we'd set sail with a drunk scolder at the helm.
And shut us out entirely? We have every right to know of any hazards in these waters. Palagino, go with the Watcher. See that the Republics are served in this investigation.
Ah, Your Excellency. Permed Kongswalias.
That will be enough parading of champions for now. I'm certain that our guest knows how to assemble a crew.
Say the word and I'll shoot the tip off a Green Boy's nose.
I believe I have proven to be a competent ally in the past, Watcher. But I cannot compel you to take me to Hasango. I hope that time will show you that the Republics can be valuable allies in Deadfire.
But this is unacceptable. How are we to protect the company's investments if we cannot...
Calm down, Nero. I'm sure you'll get one of your spies in place eventually. In the meantime, Watcher, I hope you'll meet me in the Brass Citadel. There's more for us to discuss among friendlier company.
I believe we are finished here. Are we? Aren't we popular? Take care at Hasango. The Deadfire was overfull before Aethys blundered in. Your allies will use you toward any end. Do not give your trust lightly.
I say it is beyond time our guests lick their wounds somewhere else.
Let's...
Watcher, while we have the chance.
I know exactly what you're thinking. You're asking yourself, how did I let the Royal Deadfire Company plant an informant in my crew? My superiors might expect me to report in from time to time, but don't read too much into it. I'm in this for a lot of information, a little diplomacy, and plenty of target practice. Better that you hear it from me than someone else, right? The company isn't in the business of reassigning officers outside of the mission unless they've got a damn good reason. And you are a damn good reason. Take the compliment. Then I look forward to seeing how long it takes before you find yourself in someone's back pocket. Oh, guess you ought to meet the bird. Ishi is smarter than he looks, but don't expect him to do any tricks. Ishi, come.
That's a good-looking bird. Hey, Birdie. Hey, Birdie.
Careful. I've seen him peck out eyes for less. Did your friend suffer a head wound? Before we get into deeper waters, I've got a question. You've got a ship and a title. Being captain means more than just wearing a big hat. A lot of tough calls to be made. Life at sea. It does have a way of simplifying things down to the bare elements. A crew can be like family. They can also be like a nest of squalling infants. Let's say your galley cook was fixing to organize the rest of the crew into a mutiny. How would you handle it? Sort it out as equals. Interesting. Of course, the only right answer is the one that works in a given time and place. I just wanted to hear yours. Ask me again when I'm wearing the big hat. That'll be a different Maya. But enough about me. Glad to be aboard, Captain.
Need a hand?
Not a problem.
How'd you come by that scar on your brow, Aloth?
This? I found myself in a... perilous situation with a band of Dargools.
Dargools can be real nasty.
Thank
You're
you
lucky
again
that's all
for
you got to
maintaining
show
my
for
story in front of Vanessa and the others. I didn't enjoy deceiving them, but it seemed simpler than the alternative. I hoped you'd understand. Believe me, I take no pleasure in duplicity. After we parted, I set out to destroy the Leaden Key. It's controlled us for too long. I wanted to free Kith from it, so for 5 years I've been tracking down Leaden Key circles, searching for the places where they operate in secret, trying to undo them. The task has been more difficult than I anticipated. I don't think I fully understood the weight of the decisions I would have to make, or the burden of living with them. It was much easier when I only had to follow someone else's lead. My father's, Theos's, yours. I know, and I have. After we defeated Theos, I thought the hard part of undoing his work would be tracking down the Leaden Key's members and operations. Perhaps this would be easier with an example. I went to a village in Old Valia, a run-down backwater of a place. Centuries ago, the Leaden Key had intervened to end some heretical cult. The details were lost, but what had endured was a practice of ritual bloodletting. A gruesome, pointless tradition.
You got an eye for charming little towns, I'll say that much.
At every full moon, the villagers would feed the soil with their blood. No one, young or old, sick or hale, was exempt. The village priest administered the practice. Grim old fellow. Reminded me of Theos. He was a tyrant. I was certain that if the villagers were free of his influence, they'd be free from the bloodletting too. So I arranged for him to have an accident. The old man died, and the villagers were terrified. They were convinced his death was an ill omen. They blamed it, and every other mishap that befell them, on their lack of faith. So they began bloodletting every week, turning on their neighbors for giving too little. Instead of a handful dying each year, a few perished every week. I had to do something, didn't I? I keep wondering what I might have done differently, or how I could have known better. I suppose so. Thank you. It's a relief to share this burden. You've given me a lot to think about.
I certainly gave them work.
Not to boast, of course.
Ready when you are.
Can do.
You crack the spine of the old book, revealing blackened pages of dense, illegible text. The words recede into the shadows the longer you focus on them. Suddenly, the page widens to eclipse the world around you. A dark void stretches out on all sides, the air full of choking fumes that carry dying embers and curling flakes of ash. Something stirs in the darkness. An old woman steps forward, leering down at you from on high. Her smile is toothy and cruel. Her cheeks warp around it like melted candle wax.
I'm so glad that my messenger tracked you down. These days it's impossible to find good help. Before you draw your weapon, know that these proceedings are under a banner of peace. If this was a trap, it would have already closed around you. While Barroth whispers in one ear and Aethys shouts in the other, I thought you could use a more seasoned perspective to drown out the noise. Don't you find it unusual how open and accessible my siblings have made themselves? After millennia of subdued whispers, now they practically scream their intentions. And isn't it strange how we never bicker unless a mortal is watching? If we still possessed our glorious titans, my siblings and I would have put an end to Aethys and his rampage by now. While we are powerless to stop him, some of my kin wish to observe how mortals respond to this threat. They think it will shine a light on the value of our patronage. Have we raised you well enough to be self-sufficient? Or must we return to Eora and impose some corrective measures? A cross-section of society has converged on the Deadfire. Some of my kin are of an opinion that we are meant to judge mortals on the basis of their performance, while the rest of us have already made up our minds on the matter. Judge for yourself. But I think you'll find my intentions are more straightforward than you think. When we ascended to godhood, we did so to provide for a savage people. Our goal was to craft a society whose values were made to last. Perhaps even a society that had no need of us. A naive fallacy, but one that inspired my optimistic, misguided kin. How you and your allies counter this threat will demonstrate whether you are competent enough to guide your own destinies, or if we need to revise our strategy. The soft-hearted among us are counting on you to win this existential wager. No doubt, Aethys shares their sympathies. I do not. We exist to rule over mortals. Nothing can change that. So now you know the truth. I assume you have questions. Yes, I think we will. This is not the end of our discussion. You know how to find your way back to this place.
Borica nods stiffly. You feel her presence drift as a breeze, rustling as it goes.
Atsura asked me to train a crop of new sailors. Guess the sharpshooting lesson was wasted. Should have spent that time talking about home. I didn't stay long. We sailed north for target practice, then circled back. Should have kept going.
I don't get this at all. There was a Dawnstar settlement on Hasongo. The place got trampled just the same. This is Wide Wen all over again. Only now we know it really is Aethys behind it. I'll tell you one thing. When we catch up to that unstoppable god statue, me and him are gonna have words.
Aethys was here all right. And it looks like he was headed to that lighthouse on the western end. I see trouble.
Death to our enemies!
Quick, toss me something else.
Still got it.
You'd better run!
Glory be to God! I never did like snakes.
Tread cautiously.
Lava. Beyond seek. You're mine!
That's it!
Darkness flows and the light wanes.
Ha! Sorry, friend. I can't.
Death to our enemies!
Darkness flows and the light wanes.
Already.
What do you need? Hey.
Uh-huh.
Right between the eyes. between the eyes.
Ain't you got the decency to die?
How you like that?
Better run!
Phraathus!
We're not done yet. I'm listening, can do.
His fear. Open.
That's not very helpful.
You see that, Ishi? Easily done. Easily done. I'll get that for you. Easily done.
Happy to oblige. Easy as Merkberry pie.
You were saying? Easily done. Your orders? Easily done. I'll get that for you. Give me the order.
That order's too tall.
Ishiza, strike!
Ready when you are.
Done. I'm on it.
Speak freely. Speak freely. You were saying?
Just say the word. Yeah?
Ah, remember this little soldier? Glad to see you made it, friend. Your orders? Still got it. Not a problem, Captain.
Yeah?
Not a problem.
Oh? Yes? How may I help? Oh? How may I help? Oh? Oh? Yeah? Oh? Yes? Yes?
What can I do you for? Moeth Ixi Alneth. Moeth Ixi Alneth.
Yes?
How may I help?
Of course.
The sea-striped fiends send you to uproot the tree of the gods, yes? Their blasphemy knows no bound.
Give the order, Captain. Or just nod. I'm not picky.
So, the fiends corrupt even the sand-striped ones. Now I taste their stench on her. If you join them in befouling the Adra, then you will join them in death, too. The tree of the gods, yes, which these fiends plunder and profane. Go! Carry a warning of what you have seen to the other shufflers. Yes. Tell the other shufflers of the destruction that awaits, and do not come back.
Captain?
Taxed to my limit.
I'm listening. Aye, aye.
Can't hide from me.
That order's too tall.
I'm having some trouble moving through this.
Aye, aye.
Hey.
That would be a no.
Hey. Yeah? What do you need?
Kinda stuck over here.
Hey. Sure.
There's
Might as well be hitting the water.
death to our enemies. Consider it done.
Need a hand?
Ready when you are.
Oh?
Happy to oblige.
Hey.
Your orders? Speak freely. Just say the word.
Bitter on my tongue, Shuffler.
I see trouble.
You're mine!
That's not very helpful.
Mustard.
That was about as useful as a bump on a pickle.
Should've rhymed. Yeah? Not a problem. Already on it.
How may I help?
Yeah?
As your hand touches the dim Audra, you feel the same cool, pricking sensation that you did when you touched the pillar near Port Mage. You concentrate on the pillar. The world around you swiftly falls away, leaving only the vast emptiness of the in-between. The Audra and a multitude of golden threads undulating off into the distance. For a second time, you gather the threads in your mind and bind them together, forming a solid tether that ripples out toward its distant anchor. Again, a crack sounds from the terminus. Your consciousness is violently pulled along the cord. You are prepared for the sensation this time, but are still disoriented when you come to a sudden stop. You find yourself standing behind a familiar Titanic statue as it trudges through invisible waters. Standing at Aethys' shoulder, your soul is dwarfed by the massive god's form. Energy pulses along the tether, each wave feeding the Audra's movements. He stops. His head cranes behind him, again accompanied by the sound of stone shearing and buckling. His eyes rest upon you. He does not reach for the cord, but considers you for a long span of silence before speaking.
Your first attempt to contact me was brave. This second attempt, is it born out of desperation or something else? Why do you continue to follow me, Watcher of Caed Nua? There was no malice in that act. It was a coincidence of time, place, and necessity.
Aethys' voice grows fainter as he speaks.
I am sorry for what I did, but it was done for the hope of a better future. I hoped only to explain, not to pacify you, not to pardon my actions. Can you be pacified, or is revenge your goal? I hope that is true, but you may not be satisfied with what I have to tell you.
Aethys becomes silent. You can sense his presence advancing back along the cord between you. His energy flows over your hand, tendrils of light probing into the air around you. They poke and prod at the silent lost souls hovering in your vicinity.
You are in a unique position. In spite of the work of the Leaden Key and Hand Occult, you have seen through our facade. You know the gods' true nature. Without the benefit of your knowledge, few mortals would be willing to accept the true history of their gods. After all, we weren't. The last time I walked Eora, I made a mistake in not revealing my true purpose. I believe you would understand it better than most. Yes, I will tell you, but this is not the time. As I take this body farther from the lighthouse, the tether grows weaker, and I have already tarried too long. Soon this link will unravel completely. If I have not reached my destination when that happens, I will need to pull more souls from your world. I will do my best. Do yours, Watcher.
The edges of Aethys' massive form blur and dissolve. The huge figure retreats from you. As it moves, the tether begins to rapidly unravel. As Aethys speaks, his voice sounds garbled, fragmented, and distant.
If you would know more, find me at the Ashen Maw in Margren's Teeth. I must rest there before I begin my final work. When I leave that place, you will not be able to follow. Before I go, I should return some of this to you. I still have need of the great power of your soul, but I can spare you this portion.
A pulse of energy moves back along the golden cord toward you. It feels familiar, comforting, even before it contacts you. The energy washes over you, flooding you with feelings and memories you had thought long forgotten, until they settle back into the cracks of your soul. And then the tether and cord snap, Aethys' figure evaporating into dust that mingles with the endless gray expanse. Heat rushes over you, and the uncomfortable sensation of the Audra Pillar's presence cuts off. The gloom of the in-between is pierced by the light of the living world. You are back in the lighthouse, no longer dim. The luminous Audra beside you is filled with warmth and light.
Need a hand?
No.
Captain, a word? You've spoken to Aethys, which means you know what we're up against. If the fleet sailed up to him and fired every cannon at once, I imagine we'd have a fighting chance at taking a chip off his kneecap. There's no stopping him, is there? So that's a no? I suppose there's a certain appeal to recognizing the inevitable. We don't have to waste our breath trying to stop it. All assuming that reason can penetrate the green boy's head better than bullets can. It reminds me of the first time I shot to kill. It's a poor seaman who turns down a story, but captain's orders.
Ready when you are.
Gather your party before venturing.
If I'd known there were that many in the water...
Leave it to me.
You were gabbing with my god again, weren't you?
When the captain goes all starry-eyed like that, the crew starts to ask questions.
I was rather hoping someone else would bring that up. If you got something to tell us...
So what you're saying is we're headed to Malgren's Teeth, right?
What about you, though? I'm getting flashes of those episodes you used to have in Deerwood. You know, when you were going crazy. It feels like we're getting closer. I just don't know to what.
Already on it.
Speak freely.
Ready? I'm on it.
See that, Ishi? You were saying? I'm listening. Give me the order.
Scale-bellied cowards! I knew they'd run!
Light of Aethys be upon you, neighbor. Are you looking for survivors?
A short lady, about my age. Came from Deerwood with her son. Let's see. Freckles, braids, usually. Punches you in the arm if she likes you. Face, if not. Oh, and that's if you're lucky.
No, that doesn't sound like anyone. I don't think you'll have much luck around here. I know all my neighbors.
You were saying?
Look at our beacon. Even the Colossus couldn't destroy it. And those snakes aren't so tough now, are they? Of course. The Hamzanui will want to thank you personally for your help here. And she should also know what we're up against. Looking for a real challenge after what you did to those scale bellies? The only thing I know about the place is it's supposedly made of fire. And no one's ever come back from it. But anything can be overcome. She's usually at the Brass Citadel in Neketaka, though she gets called to the palace often, haggling with the Queen and the Valians. Clear skies.
Not a problem, Captain.
You must gather your party. Venturing forth. You blink and find yourself standing in the knee-high grass of an endless field, with the day just falling into dusk. Then, the earth falls away. The wind ceases, and you are sent tumbling up into the dark of the sky.
Watcher.
The voice of the Pallid Knight shakes the earth at your feet. You have returned to Bareth's realm, your soul once more called to attend the wishes of the God of Death.
Once again, you have spoken with the Child of Light. Tell me what you have learned. Intriguing.
The Pallid Knight stares past you, pensive.
While attend. Tell me what your many eyes perceive.
Her words ring out, and a heavy silence descends. In the silence breaks the murmur of countless voices. They speak all at once in languages both known and unknown to you. In the space beside Bareth, an eye blinks open, followed fast by several more. They are round, keen eyes of Kith, the slit eyes of snakes, the small, dark marbles of birds, the bulbous lanterns of deep-sea fish.
Here we are.
A figure walks through the cloud of eyes as one might step through a door. It is an Orlan, then a pale elf, an ocean human, a Naga. Each of them eyeless. They are Wal.
This is the first interesting thing to happen in ages, and we do so love a riddle.
The figure wears an Amawa's grin, and the many voices beneath its own titter.
Some things must be lost to be found again. You knew that once, when you buried my scroll beneath the earth in Black Meadow. But it seems you have forgotten. We have read the book of your life, Watcher. It is heavy with the weight of your choices, and its pages are not unmarred by the blood of others. You reap, but on a smaller scale. We see between the strings of the world, and Eothas is there, strumming them like a lute. His tongue is still, yet he sings of a coming joy. What tune he plays, we do not know. It is complex, ever-shifting. One moment vibrating in harmony, the next in discord.
A man strides through the door to Bareth's realm. Behind him lope wolves with lolling tongues, and jungle cats whose long tails twitch with every step. Galawain, the changeling, arrives, and he brings with him the wild heart of Eora's untamed places. Fast on Galawain's heels, a small wave of seawater washes across the tiles. It pours off the edge of the platform and cascades down into the beyond. From out of the water rears a glowing lure, then the head of a gigantic fish. The round black eyes of Andra roll to meet yours.
Eothas is nothing if not resourceful. I admire his nerve.
In the changeling's voice, you hear the soft patter of rain on leaves and the rush of wind through treetops.
Hunger will drive the most pathetic of beasts to desperate acts of bravery. If his journey leads him back to us, he has proved himself worthy of return to the fold.
Eothas does not return to us. He returns to execute some grand plan. We must stop him.
Andra's voice rises like a tide, panic riding its crest. The doors lining the walls of Bareth's realm slam open in unison. Warped pieces of ancient armor and the remnants of discarded weapons roar through the doorways. They meet in the center of the room, in a shower of sparks, and form the vague figure of a man. Finally, a blacksmith's sledge hurtles past your shoulder, and the figure snatches it from the air. A man forged in metal stands before you. Twin flames ignite in his eyes, and a low rumble starts in his chest. He walks forward. With each halting, jerky step, you're assaulted with the unbearable screech of metal grinding upon metal.
We should destroy Eothas, that we might reforge him into something new, something stronger. He could be a weapon that all of us might wield.
Abaddon's words carry the heat of the forge. Behind them, you hear the clang and clatter of hammer on metal, and the hiss of just quenched steel.
Abaddon speaks with wisdom. He violates not their realms, but mine. I feel his urgency in every stamp of his feet along my spine. I will send tsunamis to slow him, if Mogren would stir the earth beneath Mogren's teeth.
The water at your feet recedes. Lava oozes up through the shallow water, and a woman made from the guts of the earth emerges. She settles her characteristic broadsword on her shoulder and sighs a cloud of smoke and ash. Mogren returns.
In the age when our steps carved valleys across the face of Aora, our bodies were impervious to all but the strongest attacks. I doubt fire and water will be enough to stop him, but I will bear down upon Aethys with all the heat and fury of the earth. If I must.
The deep, bellowing cry of an aurochs shakes the ground beneath your feet. The cry drones on and on, a moan without end. Wal's many eyes squeeze shut. Andra slips back beneath her waves. Mogren dissipates in a swirling cloud of steam. Galawain's beasts cower and whine. Only the pallid night stands impassive.
My end comes to all things in time. Should Aethys care to hasten the inevitable, I welcome his efforts.
The Child of Light will not choose the hour of my death.
Mogren tests the edge of her broadsword with a smoldering finger.
He sows chaos in his longing for a radiant dawn. So much will be lost in the cacophony of fear his actions inspire.
The crack of thunder rends the air. The gods fall silent.
We can wait no longer to act. Speak with him, Watcher. Discover what it is he plans.
Water begins to creep across the floor. It swells, runs swiftly, and catches at your ankles. You scrabble at the tiles, but it's no use. The current's pull drags you off the edge of Barith's realm and into the fathomless beyond. You splash down in water so dark you can't see the bottom. Then, the water recedes, gone like a dream upon waking. The hard wood of your cabin's floor presses against your spine. The gods are gone, but you remain.
Not a problem.
This where Gone stormed through? At least the docks are still intact.
Sorry, friend.
Mind if I do? Great and terrible things are at work. And once again, you seem to be in the middle of it. The Rauataians we passed will doubtless spread word of what you've done in Hasongo.
But others will want to know what you've seen. They'll look to you for answers.
You make it sound so simple. Don't you worry what will come next? What events you might move forward? I wish I had your clarity. It reminds me of the question that drew me to the Deadfire. The one I've been avoiding. I promised to tell you what I was doing among the Animancers at Port Marche. As you may have guessed, I was observing them. Gathering information on the various Animancy operations in the region. Animancy is a subject of particular interest to the Leaden Key. Through it, I hope to pick up the trail. That's where it gets complicated. After that incident in Old Valia, I thought more about the Leaden Key and its particular composition. It's existed for over 2,000 years. Say what you will about its motives and methods, but that's an impressive tenure.
I hope you got a while. Because I got lots to say about their motives and methods.
Relax, Adair. I'm not defending them. That's when I realized how short-sighted I'd been. To think I could undo the Leaden Key without understanding how it works. I found references to an ancient Leaden Key cabal in the Deadfire. Possibly one of the oldest, if accounts are credible. And they appear to have been working independently, without direct intervention from Theos, for almost 2 millennia. There's the challenge. Most sources refer to them as the Painted Masks. But I haven't met anyone here who knows that name. I don't know where in the Deadfire they are exactly. But I was hoping we could look for them together. That's all I ask. Consider it done. Need a hand? Leave it to me. Ready when you are. Not a problem.
extinguished or crushed. Us all, Defiler. Servants of the Defiler God. Damn you. Damned Reaper of Souls and God of Lies. Magran's most foul enemy. I am but one of Magran's elite champions, birthed from her flames, soon reunited in glory.
Well, that was worth doing, even if we got nothing in return.
At least this means they're all dead, right?
Already on it.
I'll get that for you.
Yeah? Not a problem. I'll have this open in no time. Let's see what's in here. Need a hand?
Reckon this is what happens when you try to keep a god from enacting his plan.
Ishi, now is the chance if you had any second thoughts about this place.
Kith trespasses in the goddess's maw? But how? You must seek to follow in your Defiler god's footsteps. You will not, for I will smite you where you stand!
Hold, Sega! I would speak to this filthy minion of the wretched god Aethys before you jar his bones to dust. So you freely admit you do his bidding. Yet why would a god have need of you, puny Kith? To spy? To see in the places he cannot?
Rakir, move! We cannot allow these intruders to live!
You would face us in battle rather than flee? I like your mettle. Kith who does not cower before Magran's greatest warriors. We have not yet defeated the embodied god, but that does not mean we won't. The Drotiger is readying another assault from within the Jagged Keep as we speak. I will permit you to scamper closer to God's face, if you believe you can survive. Scurry deeper into the maw, but know that my brethren may squash you. Our duty is foremost to Margaret. We guard the maw to its fiery end.
All who neared the intruder god were gutted until extinguished. You think your soul could last even half so long as Rathoon's?
Maybe the Kiths will last longer. Only Magran's shrine with our Jagged Keep can lead you to the Defiler God. Kith, if Margaret wishes you to face him, surely she will fire the way. Help me with the bodies, but this time gentle your grip.
It can't be helped, Rakir. These fallen are brittle.
Should we be concerned about that?
I thought the volcanoes in these parts were dormant.
Consider it done.
They're withgone now.
Head. You'd better run!
Ain't you got the decency to die?
Lava beyond seek. That's not very helpful.
You spend your whole life thinking you're a giant. And one day that fella shows up at your fortress.
That was awfully profound.
You must gather your party. Venturing forth.
Scurriers in my keep! Make ready to be crushed, vermin of Eothas! Nay, I will not risk the spread of the Defiler's filth during this time of crisis. May Margren forever burn your soul in agony. You'll find no mercy in the Everflame.
Better than that.
Nuh-uh, didn't work.
Special.
Ishi, now is not the time to start molting. I'm stressed too. You were saying? Huh. Can do. Got someone in my sights.
You're mine!
Not very helpful.
There's a treat. This fight is mine.
I hear you. I'll light the darkness.
Me. Yeah.
Damn it, got away. That was about as useful as a bump on a pickle.
How do you like that?
Your orders? Still got it. Aye, aye. Speak freely. You were saying?
For the wrong and new. This is totally seems fair.
That's how it's done. Death to our enemies!
Come on, Josie!
For the homeland.
Can't make a dent.
We're losing folks!
Could be a fight.
You're mine!
This is futile.
There's
All things must come to an end. Even me.
better run!
Still got it.
Fight on, Josie!
Take this! This is futile!
Happy to oblige.
What do you need? Sure.
Already on it.
I'm thinking this place ain't gonna hold up much longer. What say we hurry, Watcher?
This does not sound good. Always seemed real cold to me for a fire guy.
The Brenthis tarries for too long. Yet only she is fit to fire the shrine. Go and ensure that she returns readily with the ancients.
It would be my honor, Bathor.
Return in victory, Rekir.
Yes, Bathor.
And remember, you are a bold one to attack us in our own seat of power. I hope you are prepared to die here, for I will soon prostrate you on the altar of Margaret and burn you for her glory. Aethys deserves death, not words. The Defiler God has brought war to Ashen Moor in revenge against Margaret and her Rathun. What is your relation to Aethys, if not to act with him against Margaret? Mere kith are seldom agents of such a powerful deity. If you have no plans to defend the Defiler God, then we've no quarrel with you. We are prepared to assault Aethys at the base of the moor. The shrine will lower us to the sacred Ardra Pillar, where the embodied god now gluts himself. We guard the sacred depths of the moor. None may freely enter. Thus the shrine lies dormant, locked without the talk of Bethacton.
Did you follow that?
So what you're saying is, we need a sacred torque to unlock the shrine, to go deeper into the mall?
Sometimes I feel like this whole archipelago has a vendetta against traditional locks.
Did you expect to answer a riddle, then navigate a labyrinth to access the way? Our High Priestess. The Brenthis is the torque's rightful bearer, but she has yet to return to the keep. Our first defense against the Defiler God lies in shambles. So the Brenthis has hastened to summon our ancient ally to battle. She is deep within the lair of the Ancient, west of the keep. When she returns to us with the dragon, we will fire the shrine and strike down the Defiler. Return our Brenthis and the torque, and we will let you join us in glorious battle indeed. Bravery burns within your blood. It stokes my respect. I approve of this venture. Until the Brenthis returns with the Ancient, my warriors will remain restless and ill at ease. Brakir, go to the lair of the Ancient and carry out my command. You will permit this Kith to assist you, presuming he can muster the strength.
It will be done. You have my word, Bathor.
Kith, should you return the torque, and our priestess along with it to the shrine, you will have proven your worth by serving Margren's cause. And you, Segroth, lay a protection upon the Kith. The lair of the Ancient is a deadly place, deadened to a great dragon. This shall safeguard you against the fire and fumes that fill the caverns.
It's the dragon that concerns me.
What did you find, Ishi?
Hey, I got it. order's too tall.
Not a problem.
Watcher, the time does not allow for niceties. Even now, Aethys gains strength from the spire. What progress have you to report? Then they will burn to ash and return to the mud kiln from whence they came. Presently, I shall erupt this volcano, and with it, consume Aethys. I suggest you retreat if you at all value your mortal form. I can give you only the moments more it takes me to fully fire the depths of this maw. After that, I will not stay the assault. Even for you. Fare thee on, Watcher. My condolences, should you die.
Could be a fight. Stay behind me.
This is futile! How do you like that? Should have fine.
Gone darn it! Supposing this volcano blows, what are the odds any of us but Gon survives it?
Too late to turn around, Captain? Ishi, don't let your feathers catch.
This place smells and feels like hell in the stories Uncle Angry's. Rest now, warrior. Your soul is safe with me.
Ain't she a beauty?
Who comes now to stoke the flames of chaos further? Have I not yet feasted enough? I suppose I can make room for another.
No, no. That can't be healthy.
Just realized how lucky we are to have never run across a sewer dragon.
Start with the bird. He's been complaining ever since we arrived.
Blessed and terrible Ancient One, the Bathor sends me in search of... Do not speak your lies before our sacred fires, vermin. The Ancient would never attack us.
I did, fool. And I would again. We struck a deal eons ago. I did with a wily Brenthis. It's true these Rathun fed me exquisitely for so long. But today, they sought my wings like a firestorm to battle. My fangs like hot spears to pierce a god. I am the heart of the fire. I cannot be controlled. Not by a giant's weak will, and not by a sputtering trinket.
Can't make a dent.
No, Ixie, oh no!
You're something special.
Can't
this honor.
Consider it done.
I am burning! I am burning! I am burning! And it is not in pleasure, not for Mother Margaret. I should have listened when she said nothing. But I was willing to die to reach the Everflame, to sacrifice them and everything to ash, to vanquish the Defiler. And I am burning, but not in the flame. Not with honor and eternity, but for a moment. I am disgraced. Who will lay the talk before the Mother to fire the way? Who is left? Who will guard the sacred spire, the Mother's mind? Who will descend the shrine to the Defiler's god's face? Not to these hands that are ashes sifting on a breath that is a last sigh of a wretchedly snuffed life. Not to me and mine. Now she who was blackened and befouled and forsaken by the flames, forsaken by Margran.
Rest easy now, priestess. I'll harvest your soul and your torment too.
Let's report this to the Bathor at once.
To returning victory from the lair of the Ancient. I misjudged you. You are one of a kind among Kith. You are without the Brenthis, so I must assume she has returned to the Everflame. What became of the Ancient? Jorda Fairless? Triumph will be nigh impossible without her.
What makes you think something happened to her?
Oh, where to begin?
You will answer me, Kith, without trickery or lies. Impossible! A flame as bright as the Ancients cannot be so easily extinguished.
The Kith speaks true, Bathor. The Ancient One housed a deceitful heart. She had no intent to aid us in battle. Worse, turned fang and claw on our priestess. The Kith destroyed the dragon and recovered the Talk. I bear witness to the strength of his soul fire.
The dragon could be fierce and unrelenting indeed, but I trusted that Brenthis' power would command the beast. How disturbing and unfortunate. She would have been a mighty ally against Aethys. We've no choice. Despite the odds, we'll attack without either's strength. If this is to be our last stand, we must prepare ourselves, either for victory or for sacrifice. Lest Margaret forsake us for our failures. You've earned the right to Fire Shrine with the Talk of the Everflame, but we cannot join you as yet in facing the Defiler. If that is the goddess's ever-burning will, we Rathun will abide it. I am. Now, descend on the fires of the shrine and meet your fate, Kith.
You're certain he wanted us all to come?
Have you ever seen anything so awe-inspiring? Behold the power of my god!
Watcher, I wasn't sure you'd make it. But there is enough of you in me to grasp that you had a better chance than most. Some would say it's because you have a strong soul. Great deeds come easily to one so spiritually blessed. Or have you become great because of what has been thrust upon you? Watcher of Cadnua, Herald of Berith, Hound of Aethys.
Oh my god. You're really, this can't.
I see you, Shoti. I am glad that we could meet, even if it is under quite unpleasant circumstances.
This is really happening, right? Gon, your humble priestess is before you. Please, tell me what you require of me. How do I save more lost souls than I can carry in one lifetime?
Face bright red, sweat beading her brow. Shoti stumbles precariously closer to the edge. Lantern rattling, she catches herself. A mere moment before she would have toppled over.
I know that you have undertaken a noble mission, but I will tell you what I told the Watcher. You need not fear for the lost souls of this world. As for you, Watcher, why is it you believe you have made it this far? There is little evidence to dispute your claim. You, who ended Theos and learned the secrets of the gods. Woe may befall the next god or mortal who stands in your way, but you have come a great distance for answers. What would you ask of me, Watcher? You need to know? Or Berith? Or the gods? It seems someone else needs to know. One who has held me to the flames once before. Margarin fears what I will do, just as she feared what I would do in the Dyrwood. But this time, there is no power on Eora or in all of hell to stop me. Understand that what I'm saying is neither a boast nor a challenge. It is the clearest statement of truth I can give you. Give Berith, in the hopes of dissuading you from taking actions that may harm others. Yes, I am sacrificing lives from this generation for the benefit of those who have not yet been born. The other gods may be willing to make similar sacrifices, but they will be in vain. I am going to force gods and mortals alike to open their eyes to one another. And all the powers of hell cannot drive me from this course. It seems my sister does not like the sound of that. A fair request. I suppose your time is more limited than mine. I want to return the gods to our original purpose, and to allow mortals to worship us, or ignore us, for what we are, not what we pretend to be.
Shodi gasps sharply, for once too stunned to blurt out a response. Her eyes are wild, with too much white showing, when she glances from Aethys to you.
Whatever you're doing, there's gotta be a better way.
When I entered Wydwin, I did so with the intention of illuminating the history of Angwyth. I wanted to show all the nations of the Eastern Reach the machines we had used to create ourselves, how we had hidden our true nature from mortals for millennia. But even if I had succeeded, my words would have been easy to deny. Belief creates the foundation upon which a mind's reality is built. Some minds can never let go of that foundation. They would rather hold tight to the world in their mind than accept what they're being told. I have not come to speak, to convince, to plead, but to break the foundations of belief itself, to extinguish the lights that maintain the illusions we have created. We took on the mantles of gods from legends, and in so doing, made real what was false, crafted truth from fiction. The time has come for a new covenant between gods and mortals. One forged in the light of truth and understanding between our kind. I will leave this place and go to the lost city the Huana call Ukaizo. It is there that all souls pass through the machines of the gods, where all souls pass into the beyond before beginning their next life. When I reach that place, I will find our great machines and tear them to pieces. I will smash the great wheel until the lights of hell all gutter and die. And when my work is done, I will leave this world forever.
More destruction. You're tearing the whole world apart because you can't make peace among yourselves.
Adair, there will never be peace among mortals, so long as they are unwittingly manipulated by the gods. The divine enslavement that Woedica reveres perpetuates ignorance, chaos, and violence across the world. I only wish to destroy the darkness that surrounds the gods, that you may better see us for what we are. Both gods and mortals alike rely on the wheel. We depend on it for the souls that give us power. Mortals depend on it for the lives of future generations. Breaking it will force all of us to face the truth. We will fail together or move forward together. Either ending is preferable to the cycle we still find ourselves in.
Too late! You gotta take the souls I harvested for you!
The priestess thrusts her light-pulsing lantern outward, as if waiting for Aethys to take it from her.
They are not for me to take. Shodi, you are their guardian now. You are their protector. You have taken responsibility for them, and only you can decide their fate. Once again, the gods have put you in a precarious position, Watcher. Considering all the troubles I have put you through, The least I can do is protect you from the wrath Magrin has intended for me. Don't thank me yet. This will be particularly difficult for you, Watcher.
Hey, Aethys. We're not done here. You and I, we're not finished. Don't think you can just move me aside like all the rest. Maybe you can't be stopped. But on behalf of everyone you've trampled, betrayed, and ignored, I'll be coming to see you again.
Adair spits. In the surging heat, it never reaches the ground.
Perhaps we will meet again, Adair. Until then, take care of the Watcher.
Aethys' great hand floats away from the luminous Audra pillar. As it pulls back, for a brief moment you see a golden tether flash into existence between the pillar and the great Titan's back. When the Audra fingers gently cradle you, there is first a sensation of warmth, but it is followed by a harsh splitting of consciousness. Your awareness vacillates erratically between the physical world and the spiritual dimension of Aethys' body. Your soul glides amid the many trapped with Aethys. As your brilliant form passes by them, they call and reach out for help. Below Aethys' body, the volcano erupts. Molten rock rushes over the great Audra body, but does not slow its movement. Rathun rush to higher ground, but cannot outpace the lava, which overwhelms and consumes them as it rises. Your attention returns to the heart of Aethys' body. Deep within the whirling masses of souls, you again sense your own presence, the fragment that was taken from you. This time, you reach out to it as it reaches out to you. You meet somewhere in the great mass of Audra, the rest of the souls fading at the edge of your awareness. We are together again. Are you ready to be together again? Are you certain? Since we've parted, you've become someone else, and I have become myself. When we join, we won't be ourselves anymore. Your senses yank back to your body, still in Aethys' hand. There is light, sunlight. He has emerged from Ashen Maw, the rim of the volcano and the great keep of the Rathun collapsing behind him. The Audra is barely visible through the thick lava covering his body. And still, he moves. The ocean is gone, water sucked away, leaving only the bare seabed glistening in an ominous silence. You summon the strength to turn your head. Through the cracks in the great god's fingers, you see a wall of water, taller than Neketaka, taller than Aethys, as tall as the moon. It comes with the rumbling of a terrible stampede. The wave slams into Aethys. His hand closes, protecting you from the devastation. Somewhere in your mind, you hear Andra screaming. You are back inside him. Back with yourself. Are you still the same Watcher who returned the lost souls of the Dyrwood to the wheel? The soul observes you, waiting. I am. Good. Then this should be easy. You feel cool air, seawater. The back of your mind pulls your attention back to your body. Aethys stands amid the now calm waves. Kraken futilely clinging to his limbs as he gingerly sets down your ship with one hand. He carefully opens his other, setting your body on the deck. As your head comes to rest, your vision rocks forward, pulled back into the Audra, back to your soul. Some of us is lost to him. Fragments and the empty spaces between them. They will always be a part of him. But we are still us. And it's time for us to go. The soul rushes toward you, flying into you with ferocious speed. You are thrust back through the Audra, out of the palm of Aethys' hand, back into your body. You can feel the sensation of your skin, the warmth of the Audra, but you are not fully in control. The other soul struggles to reach the surface of the body's consciousness, but you pull it down. Entangled, you float in a dark, boundless expanse. The more you fight each other, the closer you become, until somehow, impossibly, every piece of you is touching every piece of them. Through the distant window of your eyes, you see Aethys push slowly against your ship. Though his touch is light, it is still the touch of a god. The ship lurches, rapidly tearing across the water southward. His hand pulls away from your ship's wake, his body straightening, towering overhead. The volcanic rock, now cooled and gently steaming, sloughs from his body as he moves. The Adra beneath is still immaculate, unmarred. He watches you depart, and you hear a voice in your mind as you sink deeper into the blackness of sleep.
Tell them what you have witnessed, Watcher. Tell them what is coming.
The windows of your eyes retreat into the distance. The fragment of your soul is so close to you in the darkness that you can't tell if its thoughts are separate from your own. Aethys is going to Ukaizo. He's going to stop the wheel. Aethys is going to Ukaizo. Aethys is going to Ukaizo. He's going to stop the wheel. The words repeat in your mind until they become an incessant, meaningless mantra. Involuntary meditation in the emptiness of your unconscious. When the words finally dissolve and become part of the darkness, you see a pinpoint of light. You no longer sense the other soul, no longer sense the person you were before Aethys touched you. You swim toward the light. As you come closer, the light becomes two blurry spots of radiance. You settle in behind your eyes and feel your lips already moving, mumbling. Around your body you sense familiar scents and sounds, voices raised in shock and alarm. You take control of your mouth, opening it wide and drawing a great breath.
Are we simply going to wait? What if he never wakes up?
Are those frilled collars stuffed in your ears? If the Watcher's mumblings are right, then Aethys is marching on Ukaizo. We have to move. He's seizing power from the very gods who betrayed him, destroying the wheel to make sure they never come back. It's a coup, and we have to muster the strength to stop it.
The unraveling of Kohopa from Tangaloa is our greatest test from the gods, I say. We must live to deserve the world they make for us. You bear witness to the work of the gods. It seems they are not finished with you yet.
Oh, welcome back, Captain. If you're wondering about the taste, Ishi was trying to feed you bugs while you were asleep.
Join our talks, I say. Rational discussion will gust away the ominous smoke rising from Ashen Maw. The Deadfire is no stranger to cataclysm. We can survive by cleaving to a shared purpose, a greater good, Akira. For what else did the gods place us here? We who have ships and resources enough to make a difference.
What we need is brass. Rawatai has ships and cannons aplenty, but the only way I'm sending them is if...
Ships have formed the blockade around Queen's Berth. Their commander demands parley with Serpent's Crown.
What? But what about our ships? I must get a message through to the captains.
For what do our enemies paint a target on their hull? This is a stirring bid for my attention. Send word to my water shapers to drain the sea around the flagship. I would parley on better terms than this.
My queen! They fly the colors of pirates! The Principi are...
Well, what have we here?
Forgive me, lovesome, but it looks like you're having a party. A rather fine one to which you didn't invite me.
You painted vagrants are a plague on my tribes. Why should I not hang you from the walls of my garden?
You should be asking yourself how they got in here in the first place.
Oh, I do love when they squabble. But I'm here for neither pleasantries nor entertainment. We've bigger fish to fry. Or should I say gods? Now everyone just calm down. I promise we won't fire on you at this time. Unless firstly provoked. That is, until once we've safely absconded from the city back to the high seas. Then all bets are off again. Huh?
Yes, well, if you have a point, pirate, I suggest you reach it quickly.
We're supposed to take a bunch of pirates at their word?
Right you are. However, I'm here because I've got questions, ones that can't wait. And the Lovesome Watcher's the only one likely to answer them nicely. Ukaizo? What's the lost city of gold got to do with a god on a rampage? Well, fuck if that doesn't put things into perspective. But what's that even mean in the long run? Folks who die won't be coming back again. This is all dark and foreboding sounding. But what's it mean for my soul? I mean, I like the idea of pirating throughout the Great Beyond as much as the next gal. But if, say, I got no awareness after I die, does it even matter what happens?
Of course you have no interest past that of your eyes and your stomach. Let us speak now of what can be done. Must be done. Watcher, you know best of all of us what our options are.
The Huana made compacts with the gods on Lost Ukaizo. Anything can happen on the shores of our ancestors. I say it is a place where mortals can reach beyond themselves, do freely what animancers struggle to dream.
We have to act quickly. Defending Ukaizo is the highest priority. Our ships are fast and well-equipped. We could sail to the edge of Ondra's mortar. See if Aethys' passage opens a way through the storms. Of course, finding Ukaizo once we're through is another matter. That's so. You just might be able to save us.
We speak of collectively sailing for Ondra's mortar, but this crown will not support any plan that involves a single outsider ship landing on the shores of Ukaizo. It is for this moment that the gods test me. Anyone who seeks to cross Ondra's mortar will learn that the gates of Ukaizo are the end of compromise with the Huana.
I don't mean to let Aethys end us while we bicker. But the fate of Ukaizo is not exclusively a Huana concern.
I think I'm getting the gist of it now. While these witless princocks go at each other's throats, we Principi will cut through the storms and plunder the city of gold. Whatever Aethys is seeking in those ruins, we'll find it, and then we'll sell it to the highest bidder. That, or me and mine will have front row seats to the end of the world.
If the Huana cannot take back our beginning, then our end fast approaches. The gods will judge us by our devotion to Ukaizo.
Are you going to guard it as closely as you've guarded your palace today? Ukaizo was yours once, and you lost it. Meanwhile, the storms that cover Ondra's mortar plague Rauatai too. We will help the Watcher stop Aethys, but we will not leave our country's future in soft hands.
Watcher, there are two kinds of people in the Deadfire. Those who have called it home since time immemorial, and opportunists. With Ukaizo under our control, the Huana would restore order as it has not been seen since the days of our ancestors.
Order. And the only question is whether it will be the order of ignorance and tradition, or else of conquest. The secrets to be found in Ukaizo could elevate us all beyond the telling. I will not relinquish that dream so easily.
Watcher, I say the time to play at freelancing is at an end. Any of us could get you to Ukaizo, but only one of us will stand by your side.
Let's speak, Watcher, while we have the chance.